What's up, guys? I've been really slack in getting my Easter egg videos out to you guys. Um, I have pretty much got all of them up till Thor the Dark World, um, but that's not what this video is about, as you can probably tell by the title. Um, Last night I went and saw the Black Panther movie. It's only been in cinemas for like 2 days, so obviously I sort of got in early so that all of the internet spoilers and stuff wouldn't affect me, because they are about every third post on my newsfeed on Facebook, and I'm on that every day. So I got in as soon as I could. It's an awesome movie. I really recommend you go and watch it. It's really good, and that very brief review does not do it justice at all. I don't think any words I could come up with off the top of my head right now would do it justice at all. It's a really good movie. That's all I can say about it. Anyway, what I really wanted to talk about was one of the end credits scenes. So if you haven't seen the film yet, please don't watch this video. There are spoilers. However, if you've read any of the Easter egg things, so you know what to look for when you're watching the film, so you can catch them all, you will already know this. So if you've read those, you can stay and watch the video without suffering too many sort of spoilers. Basically, I'm just throwing out my thoughts, my potential theory for where a particular character is going, and yeah. So obviously the first after credits scene is where T'Challa is giving his address to the UN. I believe it's the UN, and it sort of ends when one of the guys is like, what can a third world African nation offer the rest of the world? And he sort of smiles, because we all know that he has future tech that is centered around vibranium, and the fact that their mountain is made of vibranium, because the entire mountain itself is the meteorite that struck, that we get told in the beginning. And so that's a nice little sort of, you know, we're technologically advanced and we can actually help you all save yourselves sort of set up for going into Infinity War, where it now makes sense why he's saying get that man a shield in regards to Cap not having a vibranium shield anymore. So that's a nice little sort of setup for the movie. What may not make so much of a direct setup for that film is the second post-credit scene, in which we find out that Bucky is awake and he no longer has the brainwashing and stuff. But what I really wanted to talk about was what the little kids call him. Now, they call him White Wolf, and I looked this up and it's in all of the lists that I read. White Wolf is an actual character from Black Panther comics. He is an orphaned white boy who eventually becomes a spy for T'Chaka, who we know is T'Challa's father, and ends up becoming sort of a leader of the War Dogs, who are the Wakandan spies stationed around the world that Eric Killmonger tries to arm during the course of the film. So that's the comic version. So why are they calling Bucky this in the film? Well, he's a white boy. His parents are sort of dead since he was like, what, 20 something back in the 40s. So they're gone. And he was a spy. So he sort of fits the profile for the character. But what I found interesting and just sort of blew my own mind with was that he's now fixed. He doesn't have the Winter Soldier programming in him anymore. So if they're going to give him an on-screen title, it needs to sort of make sense, which means that in the Infinity War films, it's entirely possible that Bucky Barnes will not be Winter Soldier, but he will be White Wolf, because he's no longer the Winter Soldier. That programming from his brain has gone. Shuri has cured him from that, which is why he's on the side of the good guys in the trailers, and why you see him primarily in the Wakanda fight scenes against the Outriders and stuff. It also sort of makes sense that Steve would come back to check on him, see how he's doing, and that's why he's in Wakanda at the time. Obviously he would have brought Falcon with him as a bit of backup. Black Widow, Hulk, all the people that you see in the Wakanda settings probably all sort of come with him, because they're all on the run from the Accords. So it all makes sense why they're there. But it was sort of the reveal that Bucky's awake and stuff that was sort of ruined by those trailers. But here we find out that it's just because he's not going to be the Winter Soldier. That's the reveal. He's no longer the Winter Soldier. And I like I said, I just sort of blew my own mind with it. That Bucky Barnes is the MCU's White Wolf. Now, whether that means that he's going to eventually become the second Captain America or whatnot is still, it could entirely happen. In the credit scene itself, he's wearing like a red sort of robe with a blue over the top, and his comic book Captain America costume has a blue sort of V shape that matches up with the top two, the side two prongs of the star. They come down and make up the star, and then the stripes go underneath that. So it's entirely possible that it was a little nod to the fact that he's going to become Captain America in the future. But yeah, for the time being, he is the MCU's White Wolf, and I thought that was just sort of really cool. So yeah, I will be making an Easter egg video for this in the week before Infinity War, and then after Infinity War I will be just sort of geeking out so hard that I probably won't make a video for all of the tie-ins for Infinity War. And that's mainly because to do that any sort of justice, I'd have to make it sort of a step-by-step sort of thing, which would just be doing all the other Easter egg videos anyway, because I don't, other than making references to the actual comic book storyline, I don't think that there's any other thing that they could do to reference any of the other movies before that aren't already references to the film itself coming out. So there wouldn't be that much, I don't imagine anyway. Other than the fact that the directors have already said that it's a film based on Thanos, and that's to help make him feel like he's an actual big bad guy. Because as we all know, MCU films have been plagued with this bad villain complex, to which I sort of say, well, go and watch any other superhero film and find me a good villain. They almost had it with Wonder Woman. That's all I'm going to say on that topic. They almost had it with Wonder Woman, but they made a decision to undo all of that good work. Anyway guys, that's all I've got for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, leave comments down below. Tell me your thoughts on what you think about Bucky being White Wolf in the Infinity War films. Or yeah, let me know if you think I'm just crazy and made a connection that probably isn't there. And sort of tell me why you think that is. I'm interested to hear your opinions. Until next time, guys, keep raising hell.